Now I want to show you practical life and death.
Okay. Practical.
Right?
Gotcha.
So there's one of them that we actually mentioned in the last class, right? Which is the L group. And I'm gonna do this is sort of L group and related shapes.
Okay.
So first of all, we did talk about this last lecture. How well do you remember it? What is the status of this group? Is it alive, dead, critical? What's its story?
So I do remember this is dead. And
Good.
I think there's like 3 different Mii points that are foggy in my head right now, but I know they're there.
Yeah, okay, so that was actually that class where Luis showed us that was the first time I'd ever seen that. I am never going to forget that. That's kind of a really cool way of thinking about this shape.
Yeah.
Is that they have the triangles are Mii, the squares are Mii, and the X's are Mii, and they're Mii in any order.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool way of thinking about it. I always thought about it differently. I say, if black plays one of the outsides, you turn it into a turtle and you kill.
Mm.
And this other one, you turn it into a turtle and you kill it. The outsides both work that way. Right?
Okay.
And, right? This one, just a turtle, so you immediately kill.
True.
This one's just a turtle, so you kill. So the only two that are actually hard are this one and this one. And they both work more or less the same way. The way I think about them, you're allowed to remember the Mii because that's perfect, right? But the way I think about this is that if black plays a triangle, black will live.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So if you know it's dead, the answer has to be triangle, right?
Correct.
So you just do it, right? Because you know it's dead, you don't actually have to remember the details. You just have to know if black plays there, he lives, so you take that.
Sure.
And then when black plays this, you play from the outside and you kill, as if it was the normal, as if it was the same story when black played on the outside here. You play from the outside and then you kill, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And if black does this, again, the same story. Black has a move that if black plays there, black will immediately live.
Sure. So white just plays there.
Right? So you just take it, right? And when black plays here, you play from the outside and you kill.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
for some reason much clearer than last time we went over that.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
But I mean, the last time we were insisting on making very abstracted relationships to the turtle. I just wanted the last time to show you this one because that's a very concrete relationship to the turtle. It's not, there's nothing abstracted to that.
Oh, I love the turtle shape. I'm all about it. It's very easy for me to visualize now.
Yeah. Well, this one's a little bit more abstract because you see the turtle there and you see in order for black to make the turtle, he has to play at A. So that's how you find that if you're thinking about turtle shapes.
Sure. Okay.
Right? You don't have to think about turtle shapes. You can just say if black plays here, that's one eye, two eyes.
Yep.
So that's got to be the critical spot, right?
It's got to be.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's 2 additional variations that I want to talk about that are going to sound kind of dumb, all right? So against this one, black can't play here because white just connects out, right?
Correct.
All right, so just remember that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And against this one, black can't play here because white just connects out. All right, so these variations seem really dumb to you, right? They're not important, but we're gonna see why they're useful in a second, okay? So this guy is the L group. We're gonna make a slight modification to the L group to make something called an L+1 group. Why is it +1? There's the 1.
Fair.
Right? Okay. So the L group, you remember, it's what?
It's dead.
It's dead.
Dead.
So what about the L+1 group?
I'm not sure.
Well, okay. What if white plays first?
Probably dead.
Okay. How would you kill it? I'll give you a hint.
Probably.
This is very easy.
Probably start with T15 and reduce it to an L group.
Right. Exactly. You're done.
Yeah.
T15, you're done,
Yep.
right? Because it's an L group and it's dead.
Sure.
So if you know that the L group is dead, you do not have to read this at all, right? You're done.
Correct.
No additional reading or calculation of any sort is required.
Yep. Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So, right? Do you think black might be able to live now, though?
if black goes first. Maybe like I feel like any of those moves could work because you have that extra like stone at S15, so you can make an eye maybe at like T16 or something. Yeah. So even playing.
So you're thinking maybe like this way, aiming at making an eye here.
Possibly.
Yeah. So actually, that does work. Black has several moves that work. There is no single correct solution here, but there is one. There's a usual thing that happens with L groups and related is that some of these solutions are a little bit better than others because they have to do with outside forcing moves. So, for instance, you would very much like to minimize how many moves white has outside that are sente, right? So this one, white here, it's kind of annoying that you have to go back and live here, and then here you also have to go back and live. It's not quite so bad. It would be worse if this one was sente.
Sure.
But it's not. Yeah, that would be worse. And this one would be the worst of all if that was sente. Luckily, they're not. However, this one's a little bit funky. So if you ignore this one, and white plays here, the correct answer has to be this. If you just block, then white goes here, and this is a
Dead chick.
this is a turtle, and it's dead, right? If you play sort of here, which is the other eye you were hoping for, white connects. So the only way you do it is you play Hane here, and then white has to. You're threatening to make another eye this way, so white goes here. And then you make this eye, right? But then when white goes here, you need to be able to to capture this with a snapback. And this snapback depends on this not being Sulfatari, so actually this Liberty would be a problem. So even if this one isn't Sente directly, if you have both of them, it definitely is.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah. So, the best answer, the best way to do this, in my opinion, is not to worry about any of that stuff, which I've gone into extreme detail with. The best way to do this is just to memorize what the best life is. You just learn it, you memorize it, you move on with your life, okay?
Sounds good.
Never get it wrong, always play the best one. There are some extremely rare cases where one of the other moves is better, for instance, because it's threatening to connect out onto the side or something. But 90% of the time, when you're in this shape, what you do, okay, so you have L+1, so this is the one. I'm going to put a little triangle on it, okay?
Sure.
So you count from the triangle, the extra foot, and you count 1, 2, 3, and you play it 3.
Huh.
Okay, so why does this work? So the reason this works, remember how I showed you when white goes here, black can't play here because white connects back?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, right? So black actually has 2 eyes. 1 and 2. And no combination of descents here are Sente. A and B together, still not Sente.
I see.
Right? Okay. Now, there are 2 L+1 groups, right? We can have a 1 here, but we could also have the 1 on the other side. Here. So let's make this white. Here. And let's make this white also, right? So, how do you kill this? This is easy.
make it into an L group with Q19.
Perfect.
Let's go.
No reading. You think you live?
To live cleanly, you pick the leg stone, so I guess Q18, and then you go 3. So 1, 2, 3. So
Right, so you pick that, and you go 1, 2, 3, and you play a T18. Exactly. Perfect. Right? So that technique that you count from the leg and you go 3 in and you play at the spot works for both of the L+1 groups.
Cool.
It works for both of them, and this is correct. And the reason it works is the same. When white goes here, when black went here, white could connect back, but there's no connection this time. Right? So it's just one eye, two eyes, and that's all there is to it. And again, no combination of A and B, not in this position. Once you've lived, no combination of A and B is Sente. And the living sequence is always the same. It doesn't matter if there's A and B or any of that. The Hanes can be Sente, right?
I guess if white tries to play like T17, you just...
So if white tries to play T17, so the easiest life is just this. If white does anything except S19, S19 lives.
Fair. Okay.
Any move except triangle, you live at triangle. And at triangle, you live at square. And that's it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
super,
that's
super helpful. Yeah. That's
so now we know how to handle L+1 groups, which are common. Okay. So if there's if these are the L+1 groups, you got to bet what's coming next, right?
L+2.
Right.
Yep.
1 and 2.
2 legs.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So venture a guess. You think it's alive? You think it's dead? What do you think the story is?
I'm gonna say it's alive unconditionally.
You are absolutely correct. This is alive unconditionally. So here's the easy ones. What if white tries to kill you like this?
Well, you're still an L+1 at this point, so you can play T18 and you're alive.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And
right?
S19,
So
then
this
you
leg
just
is
go
gone.
Yeah.
So you count from the actual active leg, the one that's useful. Right?
Now, I wonder what...
So,
yeah. Oops.
and against this one, you also know what to do, right?
S18.
S18. Wonderful, right? This leg is gone. This leg is active, so use the active leg. Okay. Now, white can also try stuff like this. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I have not memorized this. Okay?
Yeah, it's a little complicated.
No, it's not actually too complicated. I just read it every time it comes up. The reason I haven't memorized it is because this is never going to be a move that white will play. Honestly, white only will ever play this to try to kill your group that's alive. This is actually an honest move. White makes this move to reduce your points. It's an endgame sequence.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? This is not. White's not going to make any points from that ever. So it's not actually like a real move that white's going to actually want to make, unless white is hoping to catch it. White is hoping you'll make a mistake. Or unless white doesn't know, right? So in practice, what happens when white tries one of these against me, at least, what I do is I know the answer. I know that I'm alive, and then I read it out. Okay? Now, the guys that I think are usually the ones you want to think about are these two moves. Usually you want both of them, or some such. The triangle threatens to make an eye at X by playing square. The other triangle threatens to make an eye at X by playing square.
Hmm.
Right? So if you just play this one, for instance, right? If white does this, you live here. If white does this, you want to be a little careful here. You don't want to play this immediately because then white can do this and you get into a mess.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
So instead of doing that, you play. I said there were two spots. You just play the other one.
Hmm.
A and B are Miai for your second eye.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Now I just read this out on the fly. I don't know this by heart, right? And white has some other moves white can try. White can try this. Let's see. I'll read this out right now. Just sort of, white should try it right here. So let's read this out. Yeah, you do the exact same thing. You just do this. This will live. So if here, then here. If here, then here. This is not enough. This is Self-Atari.
Hmm.
Yeah. If here, then here. Then if here, then here, and you're alive, right?
Hmm. A little tricky.
So again,
yeah. See that. Mm-hmm.
So what I did here, I mean, again, I remember that these two are usually the good guys. These are usually the ones you want, and then I read it out. Okay, so you can memorize these. I can actually send you like a website which has actually got all of the variations. But in practice, the ones you care about are the ones that are actually good moves for white,
Sure.
which are the squares.
Yep.
We know how to do those, right? Anything else is just white trying to trick you. So, just make sure you're careful when it happens because you know what the answer is.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're alive, very good start to do most of it.
It's pretty cool that like the L plus 1, L plus 2, all you have to do is just know the L shape and then, okay, can we get to the L shape? If so, then it's dead, and if not, then,
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Then you find the active leg and you count three spaces in.
Yeah. So this all kind of comes from the same knowledge of, hey,
Right.
just know this base and then you're fine.
Right. So here's something that you probably learned when you first started Go and didn't realize why it was true. They taught you that this lives.
Usually. Yeah.
Yeah, they taught you that this lives. They said this is living for white, right? I'm sure you've seen this sequence exactly,
I have.
and you learned that. Yeah.
I never really thought too much into
But
it, but yeah.
You probably never realized why it's alive. So I'll show you why it's alive right now. Are you ready? Done.
Oh, it's an L plus 2. Yeah.
It's a little bit more than an L plus 2, so it's alive.
Mm-hmm.
So you're done.
Even if he doesn't have the S14 already there? Like, does that
Oh,
change
well,
anything?
so you actually have it's a little better than that because you have S6, right? Your
True.
shape's bigger.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you're fine.
It's a little better.
Okay, cool. All right.
Right. So, here's a very important sort of extra from the L group, right? What we learned about the L group is that the really important spots are A and B, right?
Sure.
If black has both of them, white's dead. If white's got one of them, you can live. If white's got both of them. So let's see if I can convince you just how important those spots are. Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, here's some black magic. This sucker here is called the tripod group. Okay, and I'm even going to add some extra black stones. Alright. So if you look at this group, it looks like a worse version of the L group, right?
A little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there's a critical difference, which is that black is missing both A and B.
Mm.
So, this group, if you were to try to guess what its status is, what would you guess? Probably if I hadn't set you up, you would tell me it was dead.
I'm still kind of I mean, in theory, it seems alive, but A kind of forces, I feel like, some response of like C2 or something. And I don't know if that changes things, but.
Right. So it's actually 100% alive and cannot be killed. So the moves that this is actually a shape that's worth remembering. I will show you how to actually do this shape in real game scenarios right now. So black here, white defends here, and against black here, white defends here. So this one is kind of obvious. You need to defend the stone. If you get captured, then that's all there is to it. You're dead, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one's not too hard. So the only one you actually have to remember really is this one. Right. And unfortunately it's not the L+1 shape or something like that, because you sort of want it to be like there's an active leg here, so you would hope it was this one.
Right. Yep.
But it's not. It's this one. So
Okay.
it's a slightly different shape. Okay. So let's show you that both of these are alive. So if black was gonna kill this, he has to play here, right?
Right. Okay.
There's no choice. If white plays there, white lives.
True.
Interestingly, if black plays here, white actually still lives with this. This doesn't work. You just extend. A is self-Atari for black. Right?
See. Yep. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So the only move black can really try is this. And I mean, white has only one response to even think about, right? You have to capture that stone.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
And the two triangle spots are Miai, and that's pretty much all there is to it. If black does this one, you want to descend here.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll convince you about the other one. If black tries this,
Just see one.
and you defend here, it looks like if black does anything, if black does anything other than A, white just plays A and lives. Right?
Kind of looks like a turtle shape, a little bit.
Yeah. So you have to play A, right? And white does this. So this is something that we should remember from the L+2 groups that we showed you just a little bit earlier. So we have here, 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 here. And I told you if black played inside, you would have these guys aiming at making eyes with these moves.
Right.
Right? So take a look at what we've got. We've got, let's pull that, we've got a shape where it looks like you played A, right? I'm going to call that B.
Sure.
And then when black plays here, you remember how you played the other one, right?
Yeah, with the
Right? Remember you wanted both? So you played this one, so now you play the other one, which is here. Let's call it triangle. And if black extends here, notice how this was threatening to make an eye with this move? Right?
Sure, yeah. That's fine. Huh.
One eye, two eyes. And A is not a problem because it's self-Atari.
Interesting. The triangle.
Right?
Okay.
So, have I convinced you that this is live now?
Yeah, it seems pretty alive. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so.
So, there's a trick move. Black has a trick. In this shape. Instead of trying A, black can try this sucker. So, this looks kind of dumb because it looks like you just live here.
Yeah.
So, black now descends here. What do you do?
I guess white would block D1.
And if you block D1, it's Ko.
Oh, wow. Huh.
So you fell for the trick.
Yeah. Now it's pretty scary.
It's ko.
Yeah.
Well, it's ko.
Yep.
It's what it is. I mean, we've got the answer. It's ko.
Yep.
So there's a way to avoid ko, and the way you avoid ko is you throw in here.
Huh.
And if black captures, you go here, and against this you just connect, and you got 2 eyes. 1, 2.
Whew. Okay. I see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this is it's very unusual that at your level you will ever see anyone try to spring this trick move at you.
I
Right?
can't say I've seen it before.
You might see this. Yeah, you might see this probably a little. Probably when you're getting close to 1 dan. This is something that someone around that level will sometimes fall for. So especially if they're losing, they might throw this at you and try to hope to make a ko. But maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
If you know that this is something that exists, you just make sure that it doesn't happen, right? This descent is really important, so I'm going to show you another kind of L-related group. So this is a tripod group. It's related to the L shape. It exhibits that these 2 points are much more important than you probably give them credit for, right?
Yeah. True. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very, very important. So black can still kill you if he's got like a stone on the 2nd line, but he can have any amount of stuff on the 3rd line, and you're just alive.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like this, you're still alive. Okay, so how is this so useful in practice? So I'm sure you've seen this kind of stuff in openings a lot, right?
Yeah, I played myself. Mm-hmm.
You play it yourself all the time, right?
Yeah.
So what if white plays, it's white's turn in here, and white plays in the corner?
Probably just R16. Yeah.
So yeah, most of the time R16, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here's an interesting idea. What happens if white cuts? So the move that should immediately spring to mind is either A or B, right?
Mm.
One of those two, probably.
Sure. Yep. I was kind of thinking
Right?
Atari
So black
at
plays
R18.
one of them.
But yeah. Yeah.
Atari at R18, that might be the case, but then you can get cut like this, and that's not fun.
Yeah. Never mind.
Right? I mean, there might be situations where that's an okay move. But most of the time, you'd want to extend here.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if white gives you Atari here, black extends, white plays here, you recognize something?
It's a tripod group. Yeah.
It's alive!
Yeah.
White lives in the corner.
Wow.
Isn't that astonishing?
You see that again?
And
That was
this
crazy.
happens a lot. And by the way, if I showed you black extending here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I showed you black extending here. If black extends the other way, it's the same thing.
Wow, you'd never think that's alive, but... Huh.
Yeah?
Huh.
Now, this might not be white's best play against the corner. Particularly in this case, you might want to play here instead and threaten a Maida method like this.
Hmm.
Right? And give up the corner. But this is an option, right? It is an option to play this way against this corner and live.
Boom.
And give black the outside.
That's cool to know.
Right?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will often see it this way too. And you'll do it sort of in this order. And it's the same.
Wow, that's so crazy. And it's all forcing too, it looks like. It looks forcing.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as black plays this, you can live. If black
Wow.
extends to either of the sides, you can live. Black wants to kill you, he has to descend somewhere like this and sort of leave a broken sort of shape that's not so much fun. Usually his best answer is to let you live.
Hmm.
Your best answer might not be to actually take that life. You might have something better to do. But it's interesting to know. So how about this one?
Hmm.
Which everyone always thinks, this one's much more solid in the corner, right?
Right, yeah. Mhm.
So this is one of the probes that you have against this corner.
Oh.
And black has several responses, which at some point maybe we will be interested in studying. I don't know. But particularly the one I'm interested right now is this one. Right?
Huh.
Because this one allows you to live. Actually make it black's turn here. Here. So this one allows you to live with the tripod group.
Dang.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, usually when black plays this, what you do is you don't live with a tripod group. You play stuff like this and force him to answer a few times, and like out the outside, make him answer. And then you make the tripod group, and you make him wonder what all these stones were about then, if he's not actually even taking the corner.
Sick. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the technique, but exactly what move you play on the outside, they don't have to be these moves, you know. It'll depend on the whole shape. But usually, if this actually is something that happens, you will play some outside moves that black will answer, and then after he's answered them, you take the corner, and the outside and his responses to your outside moves look very overconcentrated.
What if he plays like R18? That seems like something I would play, and what I feel like most other people at my level would play.
R18 is a different sequence. You're not going to live in the corner in this case. Yeah. So in this case, the correct move usually is this one.
Oh.
So this is not the topic of today's class, but we can go into it if you want, because I think this is cool. This is one of my favorite sequences. So the move that you probably think black has to play is this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're wrong.
Oh.
So I will convince you that you're wrong. Ready?
Sure.
White plays Atari here, and black connects here, right?
Yep. White connects something.
Right. So what if black just connects here? If white played this, would black defend at A?
Practice Atari and kill the Q18.
Well, the point is black doesn't defend at A, right?
Sure.
A is not the right move.
Right. Uh-huh.
Right? So if it's not the right move, why is this okay? If it's exactly what would have happened if you played the wrong move.
That's a good question.
Right? It's not. You connect here. Okay. And now the correct move from white, you're thinking probably that it's this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And again, you're wrong.
Oh.
So if white plays here, black can probably attack the whole group. So if black were to do this, then this is actually pretty good for white, right? Like white's got pretty good outside shape.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very hard to attack this group.
Yeah.
So actually the right move is usually, sometimes it can be this one, but usually the right move is this one. Threatening to make this shape.
Ah.
Right?
Okay, yeah. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, so black answers here, and I'm going to say something that's absolutely going to be completely shocking to you. Are you ready?
Sure.
This is already success for white.
Doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like success for white, right? Like, what the hell are these stones doing? It's just all ripped to shreds. How is that success for white? Let me convince you that it's success for white. Are you ready? This is just a magic trick. So, if white played here, do you think black answering here is good?
No.
It's terrible, right? White stone is much better than black stone. That would be success for white, right?
I would say so. Yeah.
Right. So how about we add some stones here? Whoop. This. And this. Does that make a big difference?
Not really. It almost looks like they're just sacrifice stones anyways. Doesn't matter.
Right. These black stones didn't help black much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this exchange is a success for white with or without these exchanges. Look at that shape.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Okay. We can keep going on, but that was good. Yeah, that was great.
Isn't that cool?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of this is one of my favorite sequences, but it's completely off topic.
Yeah. That's
But I
okay.
think it's super cool, by the way. Love that. I mean, the fact that the fact that this is actually good for white, and it's completely good for white. Like and this is the reason, right? Black responding to triangle at square just stinks. That's
Cool.
successful. That's a successful reduction of the corner by white. As it is, you don't need anything else.
Cool.
All right. So
Yeah.
yeah, but the topic we're talking about is the life and death
The tripod.
specifically of stuff like the tripod group, right? So the one that we're interested in mostly is this version, right?
Yeah.
Where you get the tripod group. Yeah. Okay. So we get the tripod group. Here's some more stuff related to the L group. Are you ready? So here's something that might actually happen in a real game. It's something that actually does happen in real games, not too unusual. You got this thing going, and let's say white's like this, but black. We're going to make black super solid here, and white gets to this point, and it's white's turn, and white says, "Uh-oh, if I play here, I'm an L+1 group, and black just kills me here."
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Blight says, okay, that doesn't work. How about I try this? So this is what's called the J group. The Chinese refer to it as the big pig snout.
Big pig snout.
I'll show you the little pig snout in a sec.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
So it looks like this group. This actually solves a lot of the problems. Like it makes it look like white might live here. Unfortunately for white, this dies too, but it's a much more difficult life and death problem. There is one very specific reason I want to show you this one. Aside from this actually turning up in real games, and I'm going to show you an example of it pretty soon. Just hang on. Black here is the solution. White here. Black here. This makes sense. You might think of this, right? Because you're seeing this.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
Turtle shape.
So white plays here, for instance. White can actually play any of these three are the ideas that white might try. And it turns out the black's response to all of them is the same, and it's a move that you will probably not think of.
S3.
So black S3, white here, and white's alive.
Never mind.
One-eyed.
Yep. Okay. Just kidding.
So that's not right. It's a move you probably will not think of. However, I did hint a little bit earlier.
Maybe just connect back at Q1. I'm not sure.
Looking back at Q1 is not as far as you think it is.
Yeah.
It's descending at T6. So why does this work? Because it doesn't even look like it makes any sense.
Because if white connects, you can
So-
like Atari. Or...
If white connect, when you throw in, the reason that this move is so important is that A becomes self-Atari.
Yeah. Oh wow. Jeez.
Right?
Okay.
If that stone wasn't there, A would not be self-Atari. And white would be able to connect at A and make two eyes. So white has to capture, and then this eye falls.
Dang.
So, remember when I was showing you from the tripod group, here, right? And then black does this, and I show you this trick play.
Yeah.
What was the scary move for black?
If. Oh, what was the one for black? Fuck. P1, the descend, and then he fills in
Yes,
this one.
this descent messing up this eye.
Yeah. Because if white Q1, then black S1.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the notice how this is the same move?
That's tricky. Yeah.
It's tricky. So the descent against this shape here in L-related groups, and things related to the L group, this descent is tricky or sometimes just lethal.
That's good to know.
Right? So yeah, even if you can't think of the whole sequence, you know, if you remember the sequence and you just know it by heart, like I do, and you just do this, and there's no problem. If you remember that descent is the tricky move, it's the one you need to know about, then it's not too hard to find that on your own, on the fly. Right? You could probably conceivably think of this. You say you're going this, and you're making this into a sort of turtle.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Now there's sort of another turtle here. But if you remember that the descent is a tricky move, you can sometimes think that maybe X can be falsified, so you worry about the other turtle instead.
Makes sense, yeah.
And you decapitate. You might be able to come up with it. So long as you remember, so against A, B, or C, it doesn't matter which white plays, you always do this. This one also, here. If white does this, you falsify like this.
Oh man, it's so brutal.
If white does this, yeah, it's death.
Killer.
Yeah.
Dang.
So white actually does have a move here that survives, sort of. So this. But this is one of the very few times in all of Go when this is a good move. You almost never want to descend to the edge like this. But this is one of the cases where you do. And this still is not 100% alive, it's Ko. And the Ko is actually exactly the same as the sequence I just showed you. Here, here, here. White does this, you just Atari here, and this is the Ko. Okay. So, if you don't remember the J group and this variant J group with the Ko, that's okay.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But they're things that you should eventually learn and add to your arsenal, but make sure you actually know the L+1, L+2 stuff that I show you. That's important. Also, very many bonus points for the tripod group. It's very useful.
Yeah. That was cool seeing the live application of that. That was helpful to see that.
Right. So let's show you a live application of the J group.
Okay. How do we get there?
So black plays here and white invades at 3-3. Haha, look how these 3-3s, all these things related to the 3-3 that have to do, that end up in L related groups. So here, 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 here. And some people leave this Joseki here with white and don't make this exchange.
Yeah, no.
Some people just,
yeah, I see this often.
So it's okay to leave it there. It's fine. But there is an important thing that you have to know if you ever do this. So, if black plays here, you do not answer this way. This is wrong. Instead, you push first and then answer this way.
I feel like a lot of people
weird.
would just
Why
answer.
Is that the case? Why is that the case?
I don't know.
So, if white answers this way, this turn is sente and threatens to kill the whole group.
Yeah, he has to go back.
If white plays elsewhere, black goes here, and white has to defend this cutting point. The strongest way you're probably going to think of defending it is...
219, yeah.
What's that?
Oh, it's a J group.
J group, so that dies. Death.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, if you ever played this sequence, right, and it's okay to leave it here, but if black descends here, you can't play this, you have to push first and then play this. And if you play a lot of Hoshi stones, you might want to do this sometimes, because some opponents leave it like this, and there's a chance they won't know this. And if they do, then this is actually threatens to kill the whole group, because of the J group. So there's a real game application of a J group, too.
So if white just goes back and lives, then like plays Q19 now or whatever,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's like a good result for
Yeah,
black.
you can play this. You can play this. Well, this is getting this in Sente is really nice.
Big. Yeah.
So compare that to white playing here first and then here. This is not Sente. This does not threaten to kill the group.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
There's the big difference if black can close the top side here in Sente.
Yeah, I see that now.
So that's actually the main reason why the AI suggests pushing here one extra time most of the time.
Kind of turns off the turn.
It feels like black can force you to do that anyway. Black can force you to do it anyway, right? If you go here, when black goes here, you answer here, and this is the same shape. If you don't make it, black can still force you to do it. So if black can force you to do it, you can just, there's no real reason not to do it anyway. You can just do it. It's fine. So AI also recommends this. And there's an application of the J group. Now I'm going to show you one more. This is not the J group. This is actually just the straight. Let's see if you can solve this. I have seen non-ranked players get this wrong.
Okay.
In real games, and I've won games by doing this correctly when they get it wrong. Okay? So, this is very common, right, in corners?
All the time. Yes.
Right? And you know that white can still invade at A, right?
Yep.
So, white usually doesn't invade it immediately because it sort of damages the outside stone. But if white ever decides that either the outside stone is safe and doesn't matter if it's damaged, or that the outside stone can be sacrificed, then white might invade, right?
Right.
So, you know how this sequence? Have you seen this? To live?
I've been in this many times. I don't know it deeply. In that
this
sense.
pattern, okay.
Yeah, but I have been here. Yeah, many times.
So black almost always descends here. This is almost always the right move.
And then white goes R5, usually.
White goes at R5 and black blocks, right? And there is a cut here which white can take if white wants to. Now, often I would recommend not taking it. I'm going to show you why. All right? But white can take it if he wants to and fight. But if white's going to fight, what you have to remember about this fight is that the moment that black is alive, you have to defend. If white does this, black can kill the corner. How?
Maybe it's like a push through or Hane something with those holes.
So it's almost offensively simple.
Oh.
It's almost offensively simple. So black can Hane here. And you notice how this gets into trouble, right?
I could see it being pretty sketched with like an S4 and then push through at R. Yeah. Or just
S4
capture.
doesn't quite kill. This is Ko. Because if you do this, then white lives here. So you need Ko. Which is already kind of bad for white. This one will actually kill.
Oh, even better. Yep, that's cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cleaner. Right. So the point is white can't block. So white has to play here. Right?
Oh, L group. Q1.
Yeah. This is an L+1, isn't it?
Yeah. It is, I see that.
Isn't it obscenely simple? You just play the two Hanes and he's dead.
L group. Yep. Yeah.
It's super simple. I've seen non-ranked players get this wrong. Multiple times.
Huh.
I have won like games against pretty formidable opponents just doing this. And then they resign.
So
I don't know if they don't know that they will move or if they just forgot. One of the two. I'm not sure what the case is, but That's something that actually happens. I mean, this is a sequence you've seen a few times, so you know this is a real thing.
What if
And it's just straight pro group.
if white just fills at R4 instead of taking the cut? Is that just alive unconditionally? I guess.
Yeah. So if white connects at R4, then you're alive. I'm completely lost for where we were.
What is going on?
Yeah, I'm completely lost. We had.
Just
All right, whatever.
4-4
We'll just do it again.
approach.
We'll just do it again. Here,
3-3 block.
here. Oh, actually, we found it again. All right, yeah. So if white just connects here, white's completely alive unconditionally, and usually you have to connect now.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, if white cuts and then you live, and stuff happens, and white realizes now that you're alive on both sides, then he defends here, and white's okay.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? But when you make this cut, you have to be it has to be very much on your mind that whatever you're doing out here has to be sente against black's groups. Because the moment it's not, you can die. Right? So that's right. And it's just a straight up direct application of the L group. There's nothing the simplicity of it is almost offensive. Just play the two Hanes on the outside, and that's it. And there's nothing even to read or look at. It's done. If you know the L group, you know that's dead.
Cool.
Sometimes those Sumego apps, things like Sumego Pro, will have like intermediate and sometimes even advanced problems, which are just straight up L+1 groups. Once you know it, you'll just spot it. If you use them. I teach this stuff to double-digit Qs, and it's kind of funny when you see these double-digit Qs playing 4 Qs and killing them in the corners.
Yeah. I'd probably be that 4Q dying. Yeah.
Okay. So there are some more life and death patterns that I might want to show you at some point, but I think this is probably a good stopping point for one lesson.
I would say so. This was super helpful. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. So quick life and death, just memorize a couple shapes. Probably one of the more important things that I've seen, things people get wrong. This is one of those things that is really hard for many people to believe, that like everyone sort of thinks that if you invade in the corner, you're immediately alive. So this is just something very cool that exists. I'm not actually going to be able to show you the full solution, not only because it would take me way too long, but because I don't even know it. It's too complicated for me. But just something worth knowing, that this Sumego exists. Black to kill.
Huh.
Black doesn't even have the stone at triangle. The 4/4 stone isn't even there. But when black has overwhelming influence, white still dies. And the solution is kind of funny. You play here, white goes here, you play here, and when white goes here, it's an L group, and you make sure he doesn't get any other eyes.
Whoa. That just blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. So
hold on. It can't be that easy.
So this is the solution, and what you're and the way you would find it is really just to think about the L group. You make sure that this is not enough. So you just play on the borders. The ones you need, right, are the triangle stones on the edges of the L group.
Wow.
So you just play one of them, and then you play the other one. Now there are many ways for white to resist. Right, I am glossing over. This is a very complicated Sumego.
Sure.
Right,
sure,
this
sure.
is probably pro level difficulty to actually solve all of the variations and all of the things that could go wrong, and discard the things that don't work. Blah blah blah. Right.
Sure.
So yeah. This is pro level difficulty Sumego. However, the solution is this. And you can completely follow it if you understand that all black has to do is this, and make sure white can't make any eyes outside. Make sure the eyes outside don't happen.
Mm-hmm.
then you might be able to kill this yourself. Now that I've sort of given you the answer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe another example from Joseki. Just one more.
just one more. We're having too much fun. Just one more, and then we're done.
Yeah,
I
we're having
promise.
too much fun. Exactly. So here. I'm sure you've seen this, right?
I've probably played it myself.
Right. You can connect here or here. I don't know which you like. They're both fine. I like this one.
I don't get the O2 push. I see it happen, but I don't understand why people like it. But
I can explain it on a different
probably another
occasion.
day. Yeah, not today, but doesn't matter.
Okay. AI likes O2 and I do not. But I'm not AI. AI is stronger than I am. If you set AI Sensei to level 6 Dan Pro or 3 Dan Pro, I think is the lowest level where it actually says this is a mistake. Yeah. So 3 Dan apparently if you're a 3 Dan professional, this is a mistake. But it's the old Joseki that was played for centuries. Anyway, so they've probably told you that this is bad, right?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a
Yeah,
good
you
way
don't
to punish that. Yeah.
Right, and one of the reasons why it's bad is that you lose a liberty, and that's usually enough of a reason for it to be bad. But Black actually has something very cool. The play just continues. You move elsewhere. You keep going, and Black here is usually very close to being Sente against the group. It's not quite. Right. So if White ignores, Black has a cool move.
Maybe S6?
Not S6, S5.
S5, yeah. That's what I meant.
Right. So White has to connect. You connect back. And this is Sente against the group. Because that's an L+1.
Wow. Yep.
So White has to go back here, and I mean, this might not be the right choice exactly. Sometimes it is, but you can see that's a pretty painful result for White.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. So usually against this, White defends, and sometimes with this kind of weird looking shape.
Huh.
It just to prevent A from working.
Wow.
And if Black does this, at any point, that's completely gone. This is no longer Sente.
Yep.
Yeah. And this exchange also gets rid of it.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason why often Black, if he's gonna play anything at all here, will usually if he's gonna play anything at all, at least on this side, the usual move is this one. Because it doesn't force White to fix this. Right.
Yeah,
So,
plus
and
it's
this
kind of
is
a
the-
follow-up
this is the-
into R8 as well. A little bit. With the night moves.
But this is the follow-up so nice to threaten that. And that also should show you why often a response to this, if you actually look this shape up on a pro game database, you're going to see White playing here a lot. And if you've never seen that before, that move is going to look very, very bizarre. But now you understand why.
Yes, I do. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So lots of applications of life and death. All of them related to L group and related stuff. I think this. I mean, if you memorize everything we talked about today, you don't have to learn it all. But I mean, if you got everything, you will pretty much know the answer to life and death, real game life and death problems in corners. Probably at least 2/3 of the ones you will ever see.
Yeah, just
If not more.
just knowing the L variations and then the tripod
Yeah.
already seems like
So
a
common.
lot. Yeah.
They are so common, it's ridiculous. It is rare to see corner shapes that are not a variation of the L group in some way. And it also cuts down, like, not only does knowing them make sure that you don't mess it up, like, even if you can read it, the amount of time that you're spent and the amount of stress that you're saved. By just knowing that you're right and not having to read it, it makes a really big difference.